back, and then I'll read.
Oh, we're going to do a commercial after we come in. But the Bait Booster product I finally got on Amazon. So they got all these rules. So I take the pictures of the new product, Bait Booster, and I put it up there, and they reject it. And what's the matter? You use another company's logo. I said, what are you talking about? I used a ruler that I spread out to show the size.
Mm-hmm.
It was made by Stanley, so they have Stanley written on the ruler.
That's it.
They saw that,
Mm-hmm.
but it took forever to get it correct. It took 2 weeks of constantly saying, I fixed it. I got rid of the picture, on and on. They still... So finally they get it up. Then they only have one size, and I had to redo stuff. They had to go to a suppression place because it was still office because it was still suppressed. Oh, my goodness. So I finally got them up, so they're on Amazon.
Do you want me to read this thing?
Okay. I
Okay.
wanted to give you enough time.
I'm going to read. Yeah, I've already done my
Oh,
voice
you don't need the
exercises. No,
Oh, the
I
reason I
rewrote
didn't
it.
say anything because...
I rewrote it.
So, on your computer.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In 5.
No matter what species of fish you target, Kodiak Sense has a great... See, you messed me up, Joe.
Okay.
Wait,
sorry.
he's making faces.
Okay.
No matter what species of fish you target, Kodiak Sense has great products that will help you catch more fish. One of those is Kodiak Candy, specifically designed to attract any species you fish for. Panfish, trout, catfish, or walleye, Kodiak Candy is full of freeze-dried scent. Freeze-drying concentrates the scent and makes it irresistible. Kodiak Candy even works on saltwater fish. Easy to put on the hook, this candy will get the fish's attention and trigger more bites. To order your Kodiak Candy or any of the line of Kodiak scent products, head to www.castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.
God, are you good.
There you go.
Gee whiz. Holy cow. I didn't write nothing like that.
And
Wow. Carl, you are good. I'm not kidding. That's from what I wrote. You should read what I wrote.
no. That's why all the black marks.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, thank you so much.
I can do it. I'll fix the other one. Don't worry.
I know it. Thank you.
I just
thank
pull your
you.
chain because
I know
I
that.
know I get a rise out of you when
Oh,
I say,
yeah.
nope, not going to do it. So,
Ooh, that is good. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, that... see if
yeah, a
you...
couple little
you
pauses
You
in
had,
there,
you
but
know,
that's okay.
By my sense, it makes sense to
Makes
buy my
sense.
sense.
Kodiak Sense makes sense for your next fishing trip. So,
Woo, boy. See,
Kodiak.
somebody that knows what they're doing can make it like, wow. But how many have
Yeah.
you done? So
well, and here's another secret. You'll appreciate this because you sort of know about putting videos together
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
yeah,
The Big Bass story,
yeah.
I wrote it in about 20 minutes and edited it in 22 minutes.
Really?
So yeah, and
Wow.
still made air. So
If you're writing things, you got to go over it, you know.
I did.
That's
I did.
hard.
Well, see, here's what I wrote it out by hand, and I tried to read it. I couldn't even
that's
read.
what it is.
So then I typed it on the computer, which made it better.
And then the
But-
computer started smoking and
Yeah, right.
sparks
There's-
are flying.
There's a good article in this month's Discover about handwriting
Yeah.
and how it really stimulates your brain
Mhm.
rather than typing things out.
I completely agree with that.
It's
Completely and totally.
It's a really good article on how these kids they can't handwrite anymore, and this
Right.
gives you really mental stimulation when you're writing something out,
Really?
and
You
then
have
you
to-
can type it.
You have to focus
Right?
on
Yeah, on what you're
On what
doing.
you're saying. Yeah.
typing. You have to focus, but not as much.
And the computer does everything for
Yeah.
you, spells the words and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
that's
yeah, I
interesting.
think that
I was-
handwriting things is a
I was surprised how many people.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I was in not the operating room, but in the hospital, the girl that was putting the IAV in, she couldn't cursive write. They don't know how to write. How?
nobody teaches it anymore.
No, I mean that's bad. That's really bad.
That's
wow.
why, I have a little notebook. I write everything
Yeah,
down that
yeah.
I do and
Yeah.
that I say.
And
Yeah.
it's double spaced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case anybody comes back at me, I can say, "Hey, I think that's because of medical training.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we had to write everything down."
Well,
Yeah.
that's as far as journalists and reporters
Yeah,
and
what about work?
their notes. You're supposed to write it down when you're doing interviews and when you're at things, to write down so you have a record. So if somebody says, "Oh, you used my words out of context," you
Right.
have the written notes that you took
Okay.
at the time.
Well,
Yeah.
even the police,
you
have
document
to do that too.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
you document it and then you have it because it was taken right then, and you don't, because you may forget something down the line when you're
Sure.
trying to write a report or
yeah.
write a story.
Sure.
And even on the, it's hard to do it mentally
Yeah.
because that's
Well, it's-
doing everything myself. I have to remember
Right.
where
And
stuff is, and
It's easier when you're younger, but now as you get older, ooh boy, you forget.
Mhm.
Thank goodness I can remember these stories because that's invaluable. And then
Over and over.
and what thanks, buddy. But then it brings back these memories which are enjoyable. Even though it's over and over after 13 years.
well, it's
I mean, I only
it's
had
always,
so
it's neat when you talk, like when Bud Reiser calls and
Yeah.
you remember putting the
You-
bear in the
yeah.
elevator
Yeah.
and
That's interesting.
at the sports shows,
You know
and
what was
being
cool?
close to him and all of that stuff. You
So
know?
I had the rhino that I shot with a bow and arrow, the black rhino, and we had it at the sports show downtown Cleveland. So show's over Sunday. I'm going to go home. Tear down. Well, oh no, you got to we got to pay the tow motor. So the guys from Woods and Waters Club, never forget, they got 10 guys. Now there's a double flight of stairs to get out of the
Yeah, I
place.
remember that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
10 guys lifted this rhino, and we carried it up the steps. It's 10 foot long. I mean, and it weighed a lot.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
imagine seeing that rhino going up the stairs being...
Lucky those Union guys didn't shoot you guys.
Well,
you know?
yeah, that was the big thing with the Union guys there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go home, get it on the I'll never forget that. Wow, let's go to the phone lines here. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
How's it going?
How you doing, Kev?
Doing great. Had a nice, successful hunt out in New York.
Oh,
went out
great,
turkey
great,
hunting
great.
with my cousin.
Very
Good.
good.
Yeah. Generally speaking, it appears as though the numbers are gone. But once you get out in the woods, there's plenty of turkey out there.
Yeah.
And,
But what I
yeah,
have learned through time,
They're getting wiser.
they're getting wiser.
Yes.
They do not talk so much because they learned when they were opening their mouth that they were getting killed. So
the coyote.
yeah. So the turkey learned. They used to be so vocal. Now out west, they are more vocal. Florida, they're very vocal, but out west, because I got the Grand Slam in 2 weeks, did a lot of traveling. Started in Florida because their season opened in February. But anyways, in a month I got them. In 2 weeks I got them all done. But I did notice through time, they are way less vocal, which is hard and they come in silent. So you think, oh, there's nothing around, and you get up, and you jump a turkey. So
Yeah, you don't run and gun anymore.
No.
You know.
no, you sit still and just wait and got to think. Okay, there's one there. I just don't hear him, but he's there. So sit still and wait. Same with squirrel hunting. You just sit. You don't get up and move anymore.
Kevin's the guy who brings you the crates, the egg canisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was hiking in the park a couple weeks ago, and I heard a turkey gobble. I was like, "Holy mackerel! I can't believe it's it's daytime, and one's actually making a sound out here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
the later in the
when we're
season-
hunting out in New York, same just like you were saying, they go completely silent.
Yes.
They'll gobble while on the roost.
yeah,
And
but not as
so-
much.
so-
But after that,
No.
forget it. But during
no,
the middle of the
last
day,
time we heard
right?
last time we heard them make was when they were flying down, and we heard their feathers,
Right. Yeah.
ruffling as they were coming down. But other
Right,
than that,
yeah, you hear
stayed
that,
silent.
of course. But the other thing would be nice. You go in the evening and see where they roost, so you know where to go in the morning. But But the other thing is that it has changed because of conditions and stuff. But as it gets later, which you're saying so, as it gets later in the season, because usually they leave the hens by 10, 10:30, 11, whatever. Then they get vocal sometimes in the middle of the day because they're really hurting to find a female, and they're waiting for a response. So that's why they'll do it. And just lately I've been seeing, I got a pretty good flock. There was 8 gobblers in one hen on my field the other day.
That poor lady.
And she pays no attention to them. She goes about feeding, and they're all carrying on, and she could care less. But, yeah. Well, that's good. I'm
Her
glad you
dance
had a
card
good
was
time.
real.
Reminds me of college, you know.
Very good.
All right.
So you had a
Well,
good
that's
time.
it, guys. You have a great day.
Okay, appreciate
Thanks,
the call.
Kevin.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks,
My
Kev.
pleasure. Bye now.
Way to go. Yeah,
That's fun.
all the stuff you hear in the morning and see, it's
Oh,
it's in
yeah.
you can't replace it anywhere else. You can't watch it on TV. You got to experience it. And once you're there and it's quiet, it's like
Yeah.
a whole nother world.
Oh, we have a Ted Moore comment.
Oh,
It's a good one.
okay, usually are.
He says, to Carl's point, if I take a hike in the Cuyahoga Valley National Park to a waterfall and I tell other people how to get to it, have I ruined that hike? And probably for some people, yes, you know. But no. That's public places are meant to enjoy.
Sure,
And,
that's why they're there.
That's why
That's why
there.
they put all that money and time
Well,
and
that's-
everything into it.
Yep. That's why, you know, I
Jeez.
know Norm was talking about the Cleveland Metro Parks Youth Fishing Derby coming up.
Yeah.
Was it next week?
Yeah, next Saturday and Sunday.
And I know there's, I think there's one the 21st in, Perry Township in Stark County. There a lot of places. Look to your city websites, your city police department websites, because a lot of police and fire departments get together and hold youth fishing days, where they go out and they take they help kids fish and help families fish.
Right.
And
Introduce them to
a
it.
lot of since school is almost out, you know, a lot of places are gearing up for the summer, and that's one of the things they do to kick off summertime with the kids, to give them something to do and learn a little bit about nature and, you know, go out and have some fun fishing. Don't sit at home and play video games all the time. Get outside and have some fun. But they're doing it at, what's it called? Petros Park, I think that's what it's called, in Perry Township. And it is on a Wednesday, and it's like 5:30 to 7:30, Wednesday evening, 5 to 7:30.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's one in Berea coming up. There's one in Greenwich, Ohio, out west. There's, I believe, there's one in. Where else did I see one? They're everywhere. Check with your local municipality
idea.
or your local metro parks, and get out there and take your kids or grandkids out fishing and. You know, let them play with some worms for a while and have some fun.
Okay.
Kids,
well,
give your thumbs a rest.
Yeah, we got to take a break. And now that I see how wonderful job you did with that commercial, now I think, boy, I should have saved all the copy for the one I did, because I didn't. Well, I'll let you listen to it. We'll get it played here sometime. So
He's your Cyrano de
critique.
Bergerac.
That's
Yeah,
me.
right.
I'm Cyrano.
yeah, okay, we'll take a break and be back.
I'm in love with the girl that I'm talking about. I'm in love with the girl I can't live without.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Now we're going to hear my commercial. This is Castaway Coulis. If you enjoy fishing for catfish, you need to check out the new line of fishing products designed especially for catfish. Kodiak chicken livers are a great and easy way to use chicken livers for catfish because they're freeze-dried so they stay on the hook and are easily stored in your tackle box. Also, there's Kodiak shrimp sacks that are also freeze-dried and another great way to fish for catfish with shrimp. Also, there's the new catfish bombs, a great way to chum in fish, bring them into your area. No refrigeration, stores easily, and a great way to attract fish to your area. Check out the website at www.castaway.com. That's castaway.com with a K. Try it. A lot of great products for a lot of different kinds of fish. Try it. You'll love them. And they'll make a big difference in your fishing success. Okay.
Beautiful.
No, serious.
You said also too much.
Yeah,
Okay.
also.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Is it okay?
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Not as good as yours, but
It's fine.
it's okay?
Mhm.
Okay, well, we'll keep it.
You
Good
did fine.
enough.
Sure.
Did it? Okay, because I know you got one other one to do.
It works.
Does
Well,
it?
see, that's there's some things you don't want too polished.
Yeah.
Not that I'm polished, but you
no,
want
yeah, you are.
your voice
You.
in your commercial. It's you.
That's what I
You know
was.
what I'm saying?
Yes, I know exactly.
It's genuine.
Okay.
It's not a voice actor somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
Also.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But
Good.
yeah, if you trimmed
Okay.
it down a little, you can still read it and it still sound good.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So,
thank
yeah,
you.
you sound good.
Okay. How about the fishing report?
Fishing's been really good for walleye.
Yeah.
They've been catching them, like Bud said, off Lorraine. They've been getting them off Vermilion, off Huron, off Cleveland.
Oh.
Couple of my buddies, Tim Wilcox and Kevin, and they were going off of Cleveland yesterday. And
Yeah.
they did pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
they got their limit.
Mm-hmm. And we went out. I went out with Captain Bob and Captain Carol with Fishing Fool Charters. Carol's boat, the Myrmidon, she has Myrmidon charters out there. Her boat, interesting story, last summer her boat was struck by lightning.
Oh, I remember a boat
Mm-hmm.
next to me out by West Sister. I was out and got struck by lightning. So he was within close
she
to
was,
me.
She was docked up, and the lightning strike hit her
Ooh. Antenna.
and went through the boat and fried the electronics.
Yep.
And
And
the engine had problem. They had to replace the engine, replaced all the
Wow.
wiring in it, and everything. So she's. They're still working on her boat. It's not in yet, but
Yeah.
Bob's is, and that was yesterday. Was the shakedown trip to
Okay.
get it out because he had an engine replaced too, and everything was great. Ran like a champ, and we caught a few fish. We didn't stay out too long, which was fine,
Yeah.
but just enough. We caught a handful of fish. I think we got 9 altogether.
Good.
But lots of boats out, lots of guys out there
Really?
casting, lots of trollers.
Yeah.
Out west, it's pretty muddy around the islands because all the mud coming in from the Maumee River and the Portage River and the Sandusky River and all of that stuff. So it's pretty muddy out there. We had to go out 4 or 5 miles, and then you'll hit the mud line. And it's really neat to see because
Yeah.
the muddy water looks like chocolate milk, and
Right.
then you hit that mud line, it slowly starts turning green, and then all of a sudden it's that really good-looking water. But
Right.
we had a lot of fun casting for them, and our fish, Bud said his fish were up higher in the water column. Our fish were down sort of deep.
Oh.
So we had a late start, though, so we started a little later
The sun came up, so
Just
it pushed him down.
because somebody didn't get there, when he should have because he worked the night before.
Oh.
4 hours of sleep is,
Oh, boy.
you know.
And then driving.
Yep. So
And then driving home.
driving home,
That's
I
the
stopped
bad.
at the rest area and took a nap. So.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, took a
Oh,
little
yeah, that's smart.
hour-long power nap.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
got me
good.
right through.
Smart.
But the crappie fishing's been hit and miss at Nimisila. Now I've caught
I
some
don't know,
nice
you better
crappies.
not be
Oh yeah,
talking
shh, don't tell
Don't
anybody.
tell anybody.
That's right. And yeah, this is the don't tell anybody fishing report. That's what we should call it.
Yeah.
But I saw some of the Cass Cray guys were out at Mosquito and they took the boats out. And at Mosquito, the fish are coming off beds already, and they're in their post spawn feeding, so they're hitting really good
They
out
should be
there.
hitting
Oh.
And
a little deeper water.
Yep, they're out in deeper water. Did talk to a couple guys at Nimisila that had their boats, and they sit out. They were marking fish, really good size and numbers of fish in like 12 to 14 feet of water.
Yeah.
But they still come in close because where we fish, it's probably 8 to 10 feet right off the shore. So it's a nice little deep spot there where they hang out.
What we would do out there, we'd drag our anchor,
Mhm.
and then when we'd find a spot, we'd let more line out, and then
So it
anchor
would
that
catch.
area and cast that area.
And it was a little breezy a couple of the days because it had that north wind. And for a place like Mosquito, it's the north to south running lake, so it gets pretty wavy.
It'll get choppy.
And,
I've seen
Saw one guy that
on
went.
numerous occasions where the boats turn over. You know,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have like a 12-foot boat with two big fat guys in it, and it no.
Well, the waves get
I'm
so
not
short.
casting any
Right.
aspersions here, Carl. But you know, and these guys turned over.
Yeah.
And I was going out to them, but they waved me back. They both got in the boat and went back to shore.
That's good.
But they had their
I had one guy.
PFDs on.
He launched from the state ramp, which is on the south side of Route 88, and went up under the bridge to the north side. And he had an old tri-hull with a little windshield on it and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and it got wavy. And coming back under the bridge,
Couldn't make it.
caught the wave, and the wave
Oh.
pushed him up into the bridge and broke his windshield.
Jeez, lucky
And
he didn't break his
yeah,
head.
yep.
Yeah.
And it can get pretty hairy out there if it
Yeah,
north to
yeah,
north to south wind
Oh, yeah.
blows. But
Killed a
one
bunch
of the guys said
swallows.
he got into one of the coves out of the wind and just had a field day on the big bluegills, just catching
Wow.
lots of bluegills, and really nice looking
That
fish
lake's
too.
full of fish.
Yep, it's full of bluegills and perch and walleye and
Bass.
catfish and bass,
Which lake are you saying?
mosquito,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and they've also been catching them at Lake Milton.
What?
Crappies are in shallow at Lake Milton. They're still on the beds, and
Oh.
at West Branch. So different lakes, they drop the eggs at different times. It's really,
Yeah.
you have to fish a lot of lakes to learn the patterns of them.
Pattern.
But I think a lot of the fish have dropped their eggs at Nimisila, but some haven't because the weather changes. We get that nice day. Some drop the eggs, then it gets cold, and then they move out again off the beds, and then they come back in again, and it all depends on water temperature and day. With the full moon, they'll be spawning at night too. So
Yeah.
warm weather and the full moon, they'll be on the beds at night. But Portage Lakes has been good for the bass fishing, the catfishing, the walleye, not the walleye, the crappie fishing, panfish. They're catching the big red ears out there,
A
which
great
is
time of
always
year.
fun.
Very good time of year.
Yeah, if you're, that's everybody in the springtime, everybody can be successful throwing whatever. You can throw live bait, you can throw minnows, you can throw worms, you can throw just about anything. The bass guys are catching them on lipless crankbaits, and they're starting to get them on plastics too, plastic worms and plastic, like a Zoom Super Fluke, a jerk bait, plastic jerk baits that dart in the water and then slowly sink. And bass have just been coming up and killing them. But it's a great time of year to get out, and the pike are still biting in the Tusk, and the Cuyahoga, and the smallies are kicking off still. They're pretty much spawned, and they're heading back out in the lake. So look for those breakwalls out by the lake and the shallow reefs, and smallies are on them. Walleye are still on them, and it's a great time to be a fisherman, I'll tell you. And Well, I'll talk about it in good news or talk about it now. If you're going to spend some time out in the Western Basin area, take a day, go up to McGee Marsh or Ottawa State Park and go look at check out the birds, because
Yes.
the
You're
warblers
right
are
there.
migrating, and you can see things that. I guess there's been a sighting of a Kirtland's warbler a couple of days this week up at McGee Marsh, which is a very rare bird, and really, really beautiful bird. It's sort of yellows with a bluish-gray back and stripes on the sides, and
Yeah.
they're pretty rare in our area. They nest up in Michigan and then up into Canada in the pine trees.
Yeah.
But really, it's a great time to get out. Take your camera, take some pictures of the flowers, and you never know what you're going to see. Snakes are out.
You might see
frogs
Carl.
are out. Yeah, you
Yeah.
might see me
Wow,
giving away
what
all
a-
the secrets.
What a sight that would be.
The voice of nature is always
Yeah,
encouraging.
the voice of Kodiak Sense. But I have my Kodiak Sense.
Do ya?
If I'm there and you're nice, and even if you're not nice, I still might give you some panfish candy or
There
something.
you go. Good.
To
Okay.
give it a try.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll take a short break. Storytelling coming up. Captain Sam's on the line. Get to him, too.
Where are we going?
Africa.
Oh, good.
Again? No,
to-
I'm just kidding.
We
to
like
see
Africa.
Oh, yeah.
What it was like when it was in the original, not what it's like today. So,
Oh.
yeah.
In the
But-
Miocene.
Shaka Zulu time?
Back in the
Yeah.
Miocene.
Yeah, right.
Before the Boer Wars.
Oh. We'll take a break and we'll be back. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on Mother's Day. We'll be back.
Are you ready to catch the big one? Introducing Kodiak Fish Attractant Catfish Bombs, your ultimate secret weapon for a successful fishing trip. Designed with fishermen in mind, Kodiak Catfish Bombs release an irresistible scent that draws catfish in from miles away. Just toss it in, wait a bit, and watch the action unfold. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, these bombs are hot stuff. Perfect for the weekend angler or those late-night catfish excursions. Watch your catch rate explode with Kodiak Fish Attractant Catfish Bombs. Available online at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Storytelling time. And I was thinking, we talked about memories and stuff, and memory of a person to be blessed with remembering these stories versus other things I forget. But I was thinking about, what triggers things is I posted some pictures of when I was in Kenya and hunted up in the Aberdares for bongo and had a down jacket. It was that cold. And then get in the vehicle and drive down south, and it was like to hunt elephants, and it was like 90 degrees. But today's hunt, you go to a lodge. It's owned, it's private, but they own like thousands of acres, so it's not like you're restricted. But you go to a lodge, and you stay at the lodge, and you pay, and you buy a package, and you hunt for 7 days, and you shoot 5 animals or whatever. And then for more money, you could add a Cape Buffalo someplace. And so it's not like back in the day, it was wild. You got met at the airport, and off you go, and you pick up the caravan, which would have a couple lorries that their refrigeration was run by fuel. It wasn't propane. I don't remember how. But anyway, so you had this caravan of the vehicle you would ride in, and then maybe a truck you might hunt out of, which would be different, a small. Well, Toyota got into that area, and everybody had. Originally, it was Land Rovers. That was the only vehicle, because on the Land Rover, the joint where the tire is a ball. So it could turn every which way, completely independent. Our vehicles they'd break down, but these things could go anywhere, and you went anywhere. There were maybe a game trail.
Could those wheels spin independently
Yes.
of one another?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a great invention.
Yeah.
And you sat in the back, so you would be above, and then if you saw something, you pound on the cab of the truck. Well, the guides would see it before you would see it. We'd stop, and the guy says, "Look over there, there's 3 kudu." What are you talking about? I don't see nothing. They blend in with their markings and their color, and after a while, you learned what to look for. In the beginning, you had no idea. So you get up in the morning. Well, first of all, you're in your own little tent. Usually there would be a 4 or 5 tents set up for the different. Well, the natives, they lived in like a lean-to. They didn't stay in a tent, but you had your own tent, and in the dark, the guide, the camp, I don't know what you'd call him. Director, maybe. He would come, and he brought you either hot tea or hot coffee, and a wet rag, maybe some water, and a towel. He woke you up, and you had your tea or coffee, and you got cleaned up, and you got dressed, and then you'd hear a bell or something that it was time to go into the tent where you ate. You ate in a tent, and they gave you breakfast. It's still in the dark, and you get your gear. You got in the back of the vehicle, and off you went in the dark, because they know where animals are. But what they would do, they would go, because they didn't know, you'd drive to an area that they wanted to hunt. They knew it was a good area. Go to the village. Now this is just an encampment. They usually built it out of sticks to protect from lions and stuff, and they lived inside. And they'd go there, and they would hire 2 or 3 of the trackers that could track a leopard walking across stone rock. Amazing. Mm-hmm. So they would hire them, so they would tell them where to drive. So they had somebody to know. They don't know, and you'd hunt there for a week or so, then pick up camp, go to another place. I mean, it was truly an adventure, a real adventure. And you had all the, because in the beginning it was the wealthy English that would go there, so they're not going to live like we would go camping around here. They wanted to be taken care of, So you go and you shoot an animal. Okay, they would leave a couple of the skinners there. You keep going hunting, looking for something else. And then you'd go back, get those guys. Then they'd find a nice shaded area, and they would set up lunch. And you sat down, and you relaxed in the shade, because normally you hunt there in our winter, which is their summer, which is the best time, because it's dry. Rainy season's April, May. I've hunted the rainy season. Oh, boy, goodness. Anyway, so you would have a nice lunch, tea, sit there, relax for a while, take a break, let it cool down a little bit, get in the vehicle and go. Shoot another animal, or look, or see. So it was truly an adventure compared to today. Today it's like hunting on a ranch. And they are big ranches.
Like a canned hunt.
Yeah, it's a canned hunt, And the costs today are astronomical. Man, shoot a Cape buffalo.
They pamper you.
5, 6, yeah.
It's about being pampered.
Yes, but it's also like when I shot. Okay, you go to Kenya, you buy a hunting license, and you're allowed 5 Cape buffalo, and each Cape buffalo is $7. Now, if you want to shoot a Cape buffalo,
$7.
Yes, for a license for Cape buffalo, and you're allowed 5. And nowadays, if you want a 100K buffalo, that's probably 6, 7, 8, 10,000. I mean, it's
Probably
like
more than that.
well, probably.
I would
Well,
imagine.
that's in addition to your regular hunt.
Right,
That's an
right.
add-on. Yeah.
Wow.
But back then was truly an adventure, and and the coolest thing. Okay, so you get back to camp, you go clean up, get everything set, and then you go and you sit by the fire. And then they ring the bell, time for supper. So you go in the mess tent, have a nice supper, then you go back to the fire. Those guys would have a drink or something, or you'd have tea and sit there, and you're sitting there and visiting, talking about Alaska. You're in Alaska, you're talking about Africa to the guides. It's amazing, the complete flip-flop. So you sit there and you tell them what it's like, to be in Alaska, to hunt polar bear or walrus or whatever. And so but then you hear the lions start. So the male lion, he calls, it's either 7 or 9 times. And he gives a big roar, and it's roar and roar, roar, roar. And it's odd. So you sit there and you're counting. Think, wow, there's some lions right nearby. But it's odd how he calls the same amount of times. It's really cool. So those memories, seeing those pictures brought back. And so when we were up in the Aberdares, we would, and hyenas. Oh, that's another story. But anyway, so we thought, I want to shoot this hyena. So we took a baboon carcass and we staked it to the ground. So we're waiting that they says, okay, well, we're going to go to bed. So they took a rope and tied the carcass of the hyena, which was staked in the ground, and brought it back and tied it to my bed. So I'd feel when he would, okay?
I thought he was going to say they tied it to his leg.
No, they,
I'm sure he thought about it.
yeah, right. It's tie it to the cot. So I'm laying in bed there. My cot's moving. I got up, got the light, everything. I got it. It's a big hyena. That's a picture I posted up there. So.
I got a hyena right here. It's a
Yeah,
big one.
yeah.
I got to get an operation on it.
Anyways, that's my story. Sticking to it, but it was some great memories of things that you cannot do today.
Great story.
That's why I think it's so memorable.
Mhm.
It's gone. It's
Yep.
gone.
Yeah,
Hunting
we
polar
were
bears.
talking about that yesterday on the boat. We were talking about you.
Me?
And yeah, I said I'm still doing the radio show with old Coolis, and I don't know if it was Bob or Carol. Well, Bob was like, "Oh, he's still around." I said, "Oh yeah, he's doing all right, And he was, what was he saying? He was talking about you, still doing the radio and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Sees when you put your shows online sometimes. And
Yeah.
he goes, Carol used to hate that dog. Is she still freeze drying pets?
Really?
And I go, no. He had.
Yeah.
When I went to his shop, he would have them that people would bring them in and want them freeze dried.
Right.
And then when they'd see them, they're so lifelike they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
They'd get so upset
Yeah.
that they missed their pet,
Yeah.
and then that was,
Yeah. Yeah.
But and he goes, Carol, when we used to do the outdoor shows back then, she didn't like that little one he had in the corner over there. That
Oh,
little
really?
brindle used to freak her out.
Really?
It was so realistic.
I got so many stories.
Oh yeah.
I had a client, she had 2 Scottish Terriers, and the one died, and she waited for quite a while to get the one back from you.
Yeah.
Your mother actually came and picked it up at the animal hospital, and I wanted to carry it out to the car for her.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let me carry
Nope.
that dog out, So this lady finally gets this dog back, and she takes it home and puts it by the fireplace, and the other dog was pretty good with it
Okay.
the first day.
Yeah.
The next day she comes out, and that dog is just ripped to shreds, that one that was
Really?
Texan.
Oh wow.
There wasn't anything left of it.
Wow.
And she calls me up. She said, "Do you think he can fix it?" I said, I really doubt it, Mrs. Stilbesterol. I says, I don't think he can fix that.
Yeah, well.
I paid
Oh, yeah, it was
$100.
expensive, yeah.
I says,
Oh,
"I'm
let's get this
sorry."
phone in here quickly.
Okay.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Sam.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Now we
There
can.
he is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
So we all set to try some of that new Kodiak bait?
Oh, you got it. got it all ready and all set, and I'm going to do a bunch of filming.
I think you're
And-
going to need a bigger boat, Sam. He's got a lot of stuff to bring.
Yeah.
You fish for walleye too, right?
Oh, yeah.
We do walleye out of Cleveland, and we've been doing the channel catfish out of the channel catfish capital of North America,
Yeah.
Sandusky Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring you some divers in so you could try later for walleye when you start that. So, yeah, we're going to have a fun time. Fun time. Looks like good weather. First time up there to fish for catfish or fish the bay, so it'll be interesting.
I think Joe's going to have a ball.
Oh, he'll have fun. Do you have a walker ready for him, Sam?
Yes, we do, and it has 8 legs on it.
Okay.
So
Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll enjoy.
the bite is just starting to take. We got some big fish are starting to move into the bay,
Good.
and
Nice.
we got I don't know, maybe 10 over 12 pounds yesterday.
Okay.
Wow, nice.
Great.
So we got some good fish. We had one that was 22 pounds.
Wow.
The average size catfish in Ohio is about 5 pounds. So we've been a little above the average for the last 2 years.
How can
it's been really
people
good.
reach you if they want to go and try it?
They could go to the website is probably the easiest way, and that's just angryfloater.com.
Say that again.
And, there's floater.com,
angryfloater.com.
or they can visit me on Facebook at angryfloater.com
Okay.
or YouTube at angryfloater.com.
Good. Okay.
Cool.
Well, we're going to leave about 6 in the morning, so we should be there about 7:30.
Absolutely. Now, make sure you stretch out because I don't want to have any cramping on there or your arms start to get tired.
That's okay. I can film and the other guys can fish. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
See you in the
See
morning.
you tomorrow then.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. That's Captain Sam, who we're going fishing with tomorrow for catfish. Sandusky Bay. In that, we got to take a break because we got good news
Yeah.
with
You're going to
our
see
guest.
he's a lot of fun to fish with.
Is he?
You will see.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. I fished with him a few times,
Yeah.
and we always have a ball.
Good. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll take a break. Good news on the other side with Keo, and we'll get to that as soon as we return.
Whether you're a novice or a well-seasoned angler, if you want that extra edge in catching more fish, you want one of the many species of Kodiak scent. Made from real bait fish, Kodiak fishing scents are made from pure freeze-dried bait. Freeze-drying enhances the scent considerably, making it the most potent fishing scent available to the fishermen today. It comes in many flavors, including shad, crayfish, salmon egg, and the most popular, minnow. Add the paste to your lures, it really sticks. And when a fish hits, it doesn't let go. And if you use tube jigs, try the tube injector. This handy syringe is made especially to be inserted into a tube jig. Kodiak fishing scents are now available online at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. If you want to catch fish, you want Kodiak from Coulis.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Well, we got some good news going there, Keo.
Yeah, I got some good news. Got a couple of items here for you. The first one sounds like kind of a combination good news, bad news thing. I was wondering about, the progress at the Grand River Wildlife Area shooting range.
Mm-hmm.
And so I jumped online and I went to the ODNR website, and they're not opening until spring of next year. I thought it was going to be this year.
Wow.
And I thought,
They probably got washed
Yeah, and
out.
We talked about it
Well,
last week, and then I was like, because they put it out last week, and I'm thinking that, it's going to be open for the spring.
Yeah.
And I just assumed.
Sure.
My mistake.
Yeah. Well, and I'd been wondering because I really enjoy going out there, and as I've mentioned before, it's very well maintained. It's clean. They have great range safety officers that don't tolerate any monkey business.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, what is it going to do? Well, I dug a little deeper. This is a huge makeover for this place.
Mm-hmm.
They're introducing, because up until now, there was a little area, and I think you can still go there. And if you have your own method for throwing clay pigeons, you can shoot a shotgun. But there's really no. It's just an open field.
Yeah.
There's signs there, but the new shooting range is going to have, instead of just a 25, 50, and 100-yard range, they're introducing a 50-foot pistol range, a 100-foot pistol range. Let's see, 50-yard, 100-yard, and 200-yard rifle range.
Wow.
And a pistol range at 25 yards as well.
Yeah.
A whole shotgun shooting facility with, it looks like it's going to be more of a skeet and trap kind of a thing now with, actual protected clay pigeon tossing things.
Really?
An archery range.
Wow.
So it's a big project.
Wow.
And
it'll be worth the wait.
And guess how it's being funded?
How?
The Pittman,
Robertson.
taxes.
Yeah.
Yep, Pittman Robertson tax that you when you buy ammunition or shotgun or
Good.
stuff like that. So it's being funded by people that are going to use the range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
So I really can't wait to. I don't know how close you can get to it. I might have to take a ride over there and see how the progress is, and then I can report back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's overall that's good news. I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. You
Yep.
got to wait, but it'll be worth it because then
Yeah.
it'll be there for a long time. So.
Sure.
Joe, have you had a chance to review that new C.J. Box book, Battle Mountain?
I've been looking for it. I've been through a million airports here,
Yeah.
and I go to all the bookstores, and I can't find it yet.
Yeah, I started it. I just haven't had a chance to read it, but it starts pretty good,
Yeah, Dory actually got it out of the library,
Uh-huh.
and then I didn't start it before it was time to return it because I just had so many pokers in the fire.
Yeah, me
So
too.
I think I'll pull it out again.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Also, May is Mental Health Month. I don't know if you I didn't realize that, but
Every month
There's-
is Mental Health Month at my house.
that's
And
right.
here
Right.
too.
Yeah. A couple of surveys that I thought were interesting. One was conducted at the request of an organization called RV Share. It's a organization that puts people in campers. They don't have to own them. It's like a timeshare type thing. Also one by the Journal of Global Health, where they surveyed thousands of people, and they've determined that over the last couple of years, two out of three adults are concentrating on spending more time in the outdoors.
Whoa.
Especially
good.
Wow.
especially after all the crazy times over the last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
They're realizing that people are experiencing 98% of those people surveyed said they feel better when they spend more time outdoors, even if it's only like a 5-minute walk.
Yeah, we're not just talking baloney or Brushweiger.
What?
Huh?
Never mind.
I do that on purpose, really.
Isn't that a kind of a snake?
Yeah.
A bushwhacker?
Bushwhacker.
Oh, God.
Bushmaster.
There you go.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So anyway, if you're feeling a little anxious, Get outdoors. Get outside. Go for a
Yeah,
walk.
you
Sit by a
just-
lake.
You'll
Oh,
see
it
how
helps.
much
Go
you
fishing.
enjoy it, and then you'll do it again.
It helps.
I
Oh,
know.
boy,
I know.
does
And
it.
Joe and I am jealous about you going to the bay tomorrow morning.
Ah,
I am
yeah.
too. I
See
am
that?
too.
He's
Yeah,
going to have
that's-
fun. I know he's
yeah.
going to have fun.
Yeah, yeah. I hope
Yeah.
so. I just
It
hope my
looks
stuff
like it's going to be a
works.
nice day too.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I
just
feel
hope
sorry for that charter boat captain.
I just hope my stuff works. That's what
Yeah.
I'm anxious
Sam,
to.
this is a note for
Sam.
Sam. You're never going to see an old man move this fast. I'm telling you. He's going to be all over that pontoon like a spider monkey looking for a June bug.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be
Well,
interesting.
I can't wait to see some photos.
Oh yeah, there'll be,
That'll be great.
and there's going to be some video. I mean,
All right.
I'm going to do like you did, Carl, when you went fishing. You know, in the
Mm-hmm.
vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm going to capture the whole day
Oh, cool.
of what it was like.
Oh,
and
very
stuff.
nice.
Yeah, so people get to see what it's really like from beginning through end, and
Right.
the whole setup, which is video speaks a million times better than words. So yeah, it'll be
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Yeah,
Excellent.
good. And yeah, how
All right,
about
then.
some culture?
Oh, I forgot to
Oh, that's
look
okay.
up some culture.
Oh, that's
Oh
all
my
right.
gosh, I'm so rusty, sir.
Oh, that's what happens when you get away. That's okay. That's no problem. But we'll talk to you next week about some more food and
Sounds
then
great.
some culture next week. So
2 cultures
Sounds
next
great.
week, Joe. 2 cultures.
yeah.
Okay, I'll do 2 cultures. next week.
Okay.
I'll make up for them.
Heaven, welcome home.
Thank you.
You'll see ya.
Yep.
We'll see you.
Okay,
Joe.
bye.
Some more good news back to the on the birding front out there at McGee Marsh. It's the biggest week in American Birding Festival is going on right now, and I would recommend this. If you couldn't tell the difference between a cardinal and a blue jay, you should go to this thing because it is easy. It is easy to get around. It's on a boardwalk. There are thousands of people there, and everybody's willing to help.
Are there
And
any
they share
pictures, or do you get
information.
it from other people?
No, it's not pictures. You see them live.
Yeah.
No,
They're
I
right
mean,
in
is there
front of
also a little placards that will explain any of the birds?
you don't need it. These
Okay.
people they'll give you their field guide and show you and
There are
point
experts
them
from
out.
all over the world.
If you're not used to looking for birds, people will point out where they are and what they look
Oh.
like, and
Because they're congregated
they're
where the
right there. Yeah,
where the different birds are.
They could be 10 feet away from you. As a scarlet tanager,
birds.
and yes,
really.
and these warblers are right there. Palm warbler
Really?
or something be 5 feet away from you.
You're kidding.
No, it's awesome. It's just such a great time.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to see people from all over the world coming too, and you'll see groups of like a group of Japanese tourists, and they're and then
Yeah.
you'll see a group of Italian tourists and a group
really?
of British tourists, and
Wow.
then a big Amish family with all
Yeah.
the kids and grandkids.
Wow,
and it
cool.
and everybody's sharing in the same thing. So
Yeah,
it's
cool.
really really
Ooh.
good.
Oh, I got to say a
So-
quick hello to my buddy Andy. I got to visit with him in church like I do every Saturday, and he's doing good. Boy, he just
And
seems.
hello to Linda and Mary.
Oh
again.
yes, for all the gifts and stuff. Andy and
Thanks to all the moms out there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
Oh yeah. Well, get out there and make some memories. We've been talking about it all day because the memories you make today could be the most lasting. Like I had those memories of Africa. Who knows what you're going to have with a memory? Just go take a walk. Go into the parks. We got all these parks. You need to take advantage of them and enjoy them, or go up to the islands and check out the birds, like Carl was just talking about. But you got to make a phone call. You got to call Mom. I don't care if you don't get along. Still do it. If you get at all possible, go see her. Even if you haven't seen her in a while, go do so. It's she'll really appreciate it because look at all she did for you. So you need to repay her a little bit because it was really, really tough, I'm sure, bringing you up. So just remember that. And remember, a day without a smile is a day wasted. We ain't got time to be wasting any days. And as my mother always would tell me, Joey, don't you ever take any wooden nickels.
You've been listening to Inside the Great Outdoors with Joe Kulis, Joe Keogh, and Dr. Norm. Join us every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on AM 1420 The Answer. Download the podcast of today's show and previous broadcasts at IGOradio.com. Follow the show on Facebook and get interactive with the cast and crew. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, 7 a.m., right here on AM 1420 The Answer.